flip me off again, motherfucker. I'll dump your shit.
Check your feelings at the door.
This is the Roughing Fenders podcast.
That fucking 78 piece of shit.
Why don't you go tell the 48? I wouldn't beat his fucking back bumper off if they would have fucking let me go about 30 fucking laps ago, asshole. Stop flipping me off and just fucking drive your shit, you little bitch.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Randy Phillips.
What the fuck does he want?
He's here to host the show.
Go, 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 go. Put 4 on it. Put 4 on it, you motherfuckers.
How we doing, everybody? My name is Randy Phillips here, the Roughing Fenders podcast, here live at the Paul Matt Hurteau shop. How we doing, guys?
Not too bad.
Not too bad myself.
Not too bad. So, I mean, I've known you for a while, Paul. I mean, you've been running around here back when my dad used to run and all that good stuff. How did you get started racing?
It's hard to say. I just first started off just enduros, beating around here and there, early 90s, and then very early 2000s is when I did the truck enduros all the time, when he used to have the Wednesday fun nights at Star Speedway, which evolved into what your father was doing.
Yeah. Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going. Yeah, yeah, it's having its own thing right now. We're making it work.
So yeah, more or less the enduro kid, I guess, for the most time. Didn't really spend much time in the weekly stuff.
Jesus, sorry.
Hey, it happens.
Hold on. Yeah, no. Yeah, go ahead. No,
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. No, we're doing good. I'm
right.
just trying to set the level so
All right.
it stops cutting in and out and shit.
Yep.
So continue. Sorry.
Yeah, so more or less, I've always just didn't enduros just because I was too cheap to buy anything else.
Yeah.
And from there it evolved, obviously worked with the Parkers and the Sweeneys and the Thunder Lights, and then now he ran Star Troopers, now he's moving up to Pure Stocks this year.
Oh, so he is moving up to Pure Stocks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't want to spill the beans if you guys haven't told anyone or anything like that.
Yeah, pretty much everybody knew. He was gonna run last year, but a little bit of a motivational aspect of it.
Yeah.
Wanted to play on his sim rig more time, so the car sat on the lift. But he's been working on it now, so that's what all I ask is if you're going to race a car for me, that you work on it.
Yeah. So, I mean, your dad's been doing this for a while. And I mean, that's a long time. He's been showing you the tips and tricks of everything that he's been doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's definitely good backing to have, you know what I mean? He knows, like, everything that I've known about these Integras. I've gone through him to ask him what he's done, what worked, what didn't work. Can I use your lift? You know what I mean? But you helped out a lot of kids too for the Thunder Lights and stuff.
Yeah, definitely with the Thunder Lights. Like I said, Brian Parker, Cody Parker, and Dan Sweeney.
Yeah.
Towards the end, I spent a lot more time with Dan because the Parkers kind of went on, did their own thing for a little while, and then they kind of tapered off and did their own stuff on outside of racing.
Yeah.
And I mean, Dan did well in the Roadrunners after he moved up out of the Thunder Lights, won a championship. And then, like I said, with the Star Troopers, I've always liked helping kids. It's simpler to be able to help somebody that doesn't have no misconception of what racing should be or whatever.
Yeah.
Where you can mold them into something more that you want. They're easier to work with, for me at least, instead of trying to teach you how to do something that you've been doing for yourself for a while. It's harder to...
I still listen. Thank you very much.
I get that.
No, I get your point. Yeah. You can't mold a 30-year-old that's been doing it for 10 plus years.
Correct.
Compared to a 10-year-old starting out.
And
you know what I mean?
By no means do I know everything about racing or anything like that. It's just what I've done with kids seems to work somewhat.
Yeah. They're racing the stuff that you used to race, so
that helps a lot.
It's in your wheelhouse, you know what I mean?
Especially, like you said, with Integras, I've had my first Integra that I ran as an enduro car was in 2003. And
yeah.
So that's all I've ever ran. The car was almost brand new when I ran it.
Literally.
Yeah, it was a 96.
So Matthew, what is some stuff that you've been learning from the Star Troopers? You're definitely some guy that just came out of the Star Troopers. You just graduated yourself. What is so like for people that don't know what the Star Troopers are? What do they help you out with and everything?
Well, it's more or less just learning how to do racing and stay close to other cars and not have to worry about letting off or braking, but just following a car and staying right next to a car.
That, and in my opinion, you find a smoother line because where the cars are governed to a certain speed, if you get on the brakes or you let off the gas, you lose so much momentum that in a way it hurts you. So you want to be smoother and cleaner when you enter the corner, exit the corner, so on and so forth.
Yeah, so I mean, it should still, so like it teaches you how to hold a line, how to not scrub speed, and stay consistent, and I mean, everything that racing has to offer. I mean, you kids have a better opportunity than most of us. Pretty much. Why are you cutting out right now? I don't know. And maybe it's just the mics. Maybe it's just this. They probably could hear us just fine, and or something. I don't know what it's doing.
The other big thing, in my opinion, for the Star Troopers and all that is like Jay and Amanda. They gave us the kids a lot of opportunities, fun things to do. Like Jenna talked about it last week with playing leapfrog and stuff like that. There's a lot of that stuff that it's fun. It makes learning more fun.
Yeah. Oh, maybe. No, it's not. Keep going.
Alrighty there.
I'm trying to make it work.
But again, yeah, like Jay and Amanda, like going up to Wisconsin every year. That was always a fun race. All the kids got together. It was almost like their own little group of kids that could hang out, be friends off the track, and then on the track. Because like Matthew and a lot of them, like Joey Frazier, Dwight, Jenna, and all that, they all hang around together still from that. And it's lifelong friends that you're always going to have.
Yeah, that was one thing that they talked about when I went over to Jenna's household, is that when you let's see, like if one of them got a win or a podium or anything like that, you saw them with them. You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah, it definitely forms friendship, and like shit you said, like it definitely forms a lot of friends you can have down the road. And I mean, like I said, we didn't have the opportunity these kids had, because my first race was just a Hudson Enduro that my dad just threw me out there and said, best of luck. And I mean, how about you? So like, let's go into it. Like, how did you get started? So you just started an Enduro car and just went, or what was your first race? Was it the Howler like me?
No, my first Enduro, I think, was Christmas in July in 97.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yep.
So back then, Christmas in July, like, was a mini Howler, or there's 110 to 120 cars out there.
Yeah.
So that was my first experience with it, and just shit box car. It was a Mazda 626 or something that I got out of the junkyard for $50 that my friend ran, and beat it, run it, and give it back to him when I was done with it. Just, that's the way it all started. I never really got competitive in the beginning. It was just go out and have fun.
Yeah, no, I get it. Maybe I'm just too close to the fucking thing. But no, I totally understand.
I mean, even back then, I learned and met a lot of cool people that are still around the track today. And, you know, I grew up with beginnings of like Tony Carroll, Tony Quasar, and now from them you got Dylan Bilodeau and Matt Quasar, and Dylan's run street stocks. So I know Dylan since he was 6 years old, running the races over there. Those guys taught me a lot, just from being around them, just learning from them. And I met them through Jason Terrio because of the whole Thunder River Motorsports and Portsmouth Ford thing.
Yeah, that's another guy that. Yeah, Jason Terrio is another guy that's been around for a while doing it.
Yeah, from back when I first started, he was like the Enduro king, so to speak. You know, he won over 100 races in Enduros. That's a lot of wins to click off through the years.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. He knew his shit. You know what I mean? So,
and then like his son and Matthew, they hung around each other all the time, anyways, and they ran the Star Troopers together. And it goes back to that. It's just, to me, a lot of it is like I met Roger Payne when Jenna started with the Troopers.
Yeah.
I hang out with him every weekend now.
Yep. Yep.
You know, so it's like not just the kids learn. Ken is it? I'm with him all the time. Tyson
Oh,
Payne.
yeah, that's true. Yep. Yep. Yep.
So all those people are people I met through the Star Troopers that I probably would never really come in contact with if it wasn't for the kids getting together, and then the adults get together and we have our own little fun. Well, the kids go have their own fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's an understatement. So are you excited? I mean, we don't have the cheated up Integra and camera, but are you excited to go and run against some of us and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I know your old man's is just like mine, and you'll definitely have a lot of teaching moments coming forward. He's gonna be acting like he's driving the car out there, telling you what to do and stuff. But he's really good. So are you excited to come and run the PureStocks? Are you guys doing that? Are you guys doing that? What's it called? The King PureStocks or something like that?
Oh no,
Driver's Choice King or Triple Crown or something like that?
No, for this year we're just gonna run Star Speedway, home track. He's got a lot of laps on that track. It's just, to me, I want to keep it simple. Like you said, learning experience.
Yeah.
I want to be, if the car's doing something that I don't like, that I can just do something stupid to the car that I know he can handle it and see what happens, you know.
Yeah.
Trial and error.
Yeah.
Well, that's welcome to fucking racing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you straight up right now. It's a lot of trial and error, and sometimes you get a good season out of it, but mostly it's trial and error and you trying to find another 10th on the guy that you're running against, you know what I mean? So, I mean, as I said, you got Paul here. He found a 10th out of nothing, you know what I mean? So, I guess, I mean, moving forward, what are some big goals that you guys have to just like finish races or top fives, wins? What?
More or less, yeah. I just want him to be consistent. I don't care if he wins this year. That's not my priority. My priority is to have him. This is gonna be his first time without a throttle stop.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Well, he's ran practice laps in his old Cavalier without a throttle stop, but Integra versus Cavalier, it's big spring versus coil, small spring. There's a lot of different variables, but
Yeah.
I'm not that father that always wants the kid to win, do everything else. I want him to learn the right way to do stuff and then use it as a teaching experiment. So down the line, he can do it himself.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. Yeah, I just wanted to see how you guys were aiming towards it. I mean, like I said, I didn't have the opportunity to do that, but you learn pretty quick when you're out there with a bunch of grown people just not caring who's out there. So
You know, you got a kid coming, so you're going to understand more, but like I grew up around drag racing. That's all my father did was snowmobile drags, and we helped other guys that worked on drag cars and owned drag cars. So I never did circle track.
So like I said, like how did racing come into your life?
Well, as stupid as it sounds, my cousin used to live at Star Speedway.
Oh, no shit. Well, I mean, that's pretty
It used to be the old brown house beside Jean's house, and that's where she lived before Jean's house was even there. And her boyfriend, they cleaned the track. They did everything around the track during the weekdays and all that. So I was always around there. I mean, back when I was way younger than him, going to one of the first Halloween howlers, my father with his towing company, we were hauling junk cars out the next day or ripping motors out of cars. And that's how it kind of started.
Is that where Matt got it from?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because when I wrecked the fucking CRV, here comes Matt with the Dale car.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I guess it did run. I guess we should have grabbed that.
But yeah, I've been there.
So what about the drag racing?
I mean, it was just like my father's in a car club. It's called the Custom Kings.
Okay, yep.
So it was always nostalgia drag racing. So one of the guys in the club owned a old style rail dragster, which had a flathead Ford in it with a fuel injection on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it ran good times and all that. It was just fun to be around, just to see people that enjoy that sport. It's kind of like around the circle track is the Star Tour and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, the nostalgia cars and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yep.
So, well, the guy that we used to help, he used to run at the Pine Speedway. So I started talking to him about the Pines and all that other happy stuff.
Who was that?
His name is Dick Edwards.
Oh, okay, yep. Okay, well, I know Dick through Billy Kemp, so
Okay.
yeah. So I was like, hold on a second.
So that's how my first introduction. And then way back when, and I didn't even know it until recently, when my father was a kid, he used to go to Dover Speedway with his brother that had a 57 Chevy that ran over there. And then grew up with the Browns. So I knew Big Howard, Little Howard, Heidi, and down the line. So I've always been around a little bit of racing here and there. Actually, somewhere floating around outside is a trunk lid that came off from a ministock that was owned by the Veterans.
Holy shit.
So that was like late
ago.
70s, early 80s. I
Yeah.
found it in the woods out behind a piece of property they used to own. I was like, oh, I'm going to take that home just because it's just neat nostalgia for New England, especially Star Speedway.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, so I've seen a couple videos of you racing, and so what happened at that time that you were at Lee Speedway?
First off, I have no issues with the guy. Me and him have talked since.
Oh
and so on
yeah,
and so forth.
no, I'm not saying it like that.
No.
It was just a great video that's on YouTube that anybody can go watch.
Yeah. Me and him were having a very heated battle for many laps. He went to the outside of me and then kind of got into my right rear tire rather and cut it down. So through the corner, I played Tokyo Drift for half the corner to save it. And then when he got underneath me, I doored him hard as I could. And then just because I was mad, obviously, anybody gets your right rear cut, you're not happy.
Yeah, no.
And then going down the straightaway, if I could have hit him, I probably would have, but I missed him going into turn 2, turn 1. And then I pulled off the track, and it was over from there. And then the following year, I hung around, talked to him, drank with him at the Oktoberfest again. It was,
Yeah.
I don't hold a grudge usually. I mean, you got to do something pretty stupid to get me fired up where I don't like you no more.
Yeah, but I swear there was another car that raced another year at Lee that it had the same color as your car. He got put into the backstretch wall after the race.
Was it my car or the other car? Because there was 2 of them at one point, me and my friend Mark, that I
Oh,
worked
it might have
with.
been Mark.
We both had Integras. He had the first gen Integra, and I had the second gen, third gen and second
I
gen.
don't know. It was just
His was a 92, mine's a 90. Well, that's a 2000 or whatever.
yeah.
So, but they were painted similar. They were reverse paint schemes. Like mine
Oh.
was yellow on top, and his
Son
was,
of a bitch. I couldn't fucking tell you right now. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe it might have been Mark, but
Yeah.
I don't know. They gained up on him after the race or something.
no,
like that.
okay. That I don't know about. There was another car that came from another track that was painted similar to our car.
Oh, okay. I thought that was you. I was
No.
like, oh, you must have done something real good.
No, my other buddy Steve that ran at Lee in the beginnings of the pure stocks or whatever they called them over there when they first started off.
Oh, who knows?
He had a CRX, and
Yeah.
him and the dude that I got into it with, Steve's a lot more vocal than I am, and he kind of went and expressed his displeasure, and then they end up rolling around the dirt and the pits and all that. It was always a fun night.
Back when you had to go see the driver after the shit that you pulled.
Yeah, exactly. And you say that, that's always been my thing with any of the drivers I've ever worked with was, hey, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Everybody fucks up. Go apologize. Yeah, you might take an ear beating, but explain yourself. Take your ear beating and be on with it. It's going to be a lot easier next week when you're not listening to that person that's you're worried about that, looking over your shoulder. Is this guy going to come over here and kamikaze?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean, today you still see that kind.
You still see it, but like again,
It's dimmed down.
yeah, it's dimmed down.
Yeah, no, you don't see people come over and apologize. They think that they did nothing wrong, and then, but like even if I don't think I did anything wrong, but I did get into someone, I'll be like, oh well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to.
Sometimes that goes a long ways, in my opinion. Just
Yeah.
being able to go over and recognize, like, hey, we see differently.
Yeah,
You see it this way, I see it that way, but it is what it is. We'll move on.
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I guess Matt has that to look forward to. I mean, I'm telling you, it's going to be a learning moment every time we go out there. And we had Jenna out there with us. We had Dakota Ritter out there with us. Maggie Clark, Connor. Man, who's that? Southier. There we go. And
JoJo's kid.
yeah, and JoJo's
Cameron.
kid and all those guys. Those guys come out there, but they at the. I guess I'm trying to word it nicely. They understood how we didn't care if they were out there or not.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. So it's like it's not like a big leap, but it's
No, but I get what you're saying because I
Yeah.
grew up the old school way. If you want respect, you got to earn it. You don't get it
Exactly.
given to you.
Yeah, no, yeah. If you want to go out there and play hammerhead moves, we can
Yeah.
play hammerhead moves. It's
And again,
okay.
like I went through the Thunder Lights, and quite frankly, with Dan and
that was a
right.
fucking free for all.
It was.
Those Thunder Lights were a free for all.
and sometimes I felt bad for those kids. I almost wish they went through something similar to the Star Troopers or something, or at least I don't know how to put it, but just something a little bit mellower.
Yeah.
Because most of these kids are out there running full blown mini stocks.
Oh yeah,
that
no,
never
they
been
were
behind the wheel
they
of
were
a car
pretty
before.
fucking close to it.
And so we had our fair share of little shit shows with that, and just over the years between even teammates getting into each other and all that, and it's always somebody's mad at each other, and I'm Switzerland, I'm standing in the middle going,
Just
all
work
three of your
on it.
cars are at my house.
Yeah.
We'll fix it after and go from there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's one of the things of having teammates out there.
Well, you were talking last week about Scotty Duvall's daughter.
Yeah.
That Camry.
Yeah, yeah.
I built that. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
Dan Sweeney's first car.
Holy shit, that thing's a tank.
Yes, it
Because She
is.
fucking tested that out anytime she could.
And that was the thing when I built most of those cars for the Thunder Lights. I overdid them on purpose.
Well, yeah, you want to be safe out there. Then
I mean, like Cody's car rather, it had double wall. It was 1 3/4, 1.5 inches stuffed inside of each other down the side. So you had to slam that thing hard to make anything move.
yeah, I mean, all my brace bars fucking fence post.
Yep.
So try to move that shit.
I mean, the rub rail on this car over here, that's the same thing. It's 1.5 inches on the inside of 095 and
Yeah.
then 1 3/4 on the outside. Is it heavier? Yeah. Is it going to bend? You're going to have to take a hell of a shot to make it bend.
Well, that was my dad's thing when he built the 19 back in 2014. You got to think back in 2014 when I started at Monadnock, it was literally if you could go down to the Hopkinton State Fair and fucking put a circle out there, that's what it was. So
Yeah.
he was like, "Well, fuck this. I'm not gonna see you." Because we tried thinner doors with the black DA, and I got hit in the door real good. I couldn't feel my knee for like 2 weeks, and I was like, all right, well, I guess we'll do something different. But the point being is that I get it. It's a heavy car, but I mean, the car's 25 something, but it still went out there and won races. And it's just all about safety. Like they, like a year ago, they bitched about my doors, and I was like, they're fucking heavier than fucking stock doors. So,
yeah.
I mean,
Again, going back to like that first year when Dan was running the Camry, well, that very first year, Brian and Cody were sharing a car.
yeah.
And then the dads were racing the cars in the Enduros.
Oh,
So
okay.
John Sweeney was racing Dan's car in the Enduro. And then, so the very first year that all the kids ran, they only ran when the Enduros ran. Mm-hmm. And then they moved on from there. And they get their feet wet to see if they liked it and they want to stick around it. I mean, it's not for everybody. Some people like it, some people don't.
Oh, well, yeah, no, that's why I said Matt has a better opportunity than we did, because you send a kid out there, you better hope that he knows what the fuck is going on out there. You know what I mean? Or he could get hurt really fucking bad.
And that's where, like, if you float around, look through all the pictures on my Facebook page or whatever, there's a 68 car. That was Brian and Cody's first car. Brian got T-boned by, I can't remember who, but he got hit hard. And the door, he got cut out of the car.
Oh, okay.
So from that point on, I was like, I don't like this. I don't like that. So I started adding more and more braces. And unfortunately, sometimes you learn stuff from mishaps,
yeah,
bad situations. That door bar curled. So now, like, when you saw the videos of
are you
Dan's.
talking recently, like his last race?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, this was
Okay.
when they were sharing the same. It was
Oh, okay, yep.
was
Okay,
a-
continue, yeah.
a
Well,
Honda-
because he took a hard hit the last race he ever did.
yeah, that's true too. I forgot about that one.
I mean, he took a fucking huge hit. I
Yeah.
mean, I've never seen I don't know what it was. I think it.
Was it the
He's
Prelude?
so fucking tall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he got hit by Paul Wainwright, but he's so tall, he's literally almost in the back fucking seat of that mini stock.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. You're talking
You know
about
what I'm-
Cody's car.
Yeah, Cody's car.
Half of that's floating around this yard. There's
Yeah,
the
it's
cages
somewhere.
outside. I cut it up into pieces and just
Yeah.
scavenge parts off from it.
Yeah, but seeing the photos, I thought that's what you meant. We'll
No,
go
no,
back
no.
to that, but yeah, no, that was a hard hit.
No,
too.
that was
I
a
mean,
good
that
hard hit.
fucking- that-
But even that was a learning experience because I gave Cody shit about that one because that was Cody was in that deal. I was like, did you learn anything from that? He goes, no. Well, what are you talking about? It's like, you're down on the apron, hold the brake. Don't roll back out into traffic.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Well,
unfortunately, Paul had no place to go.
oh yeah, no, they were coming out of two, and here he's come up backwards.
And it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
shit happens.
No, yeah, no.
No, Brian was in the Civic that we built originally, and it got T-boned good, where it buckled the roof and bowed the whole car.
Holy
like
fuck. Okay, yeah.
Looked like a boomerang when we were done. But it was one of those things of the cage we got, it was okay, but it was built a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it was cut in half, put back together, and
There's nothing wrong with that.
no, there is nothing wrong with that as long as you sleeve it all. But
Exactly.
the biggest problem is not knowing what some people used to do.
Oh, no, that's
Because I've run into that before, putting cages in other people's cars that they bought that you look at them and it looks like a really nice cage.
Yeah. until
Come
you
to
hit
find
it
out
with
it's
a
made
fucking-
out of 065 and exhaust tube.
Yeah, you fucking hit it with a hammer and you watch it fucking crease.
Yeah.
That's how I found out about mine. I was like, yeah, we're gonna go do something else.
Because I've seen quite a bit of that, of people putting lightweight stuff in the, for the cages. I mean, it's good for some, but I'm sorry, when it comes to a kid that's 13, 14 years old, I want the best I can get in there just to make sure they don't get hurt.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can care about weight, but you shouldn't push fucking safety into that. Not at all. I mean, I'll have the heaviest car as long as it's for safety. You know what I mean?
Like you're saying, like if you saw the hit that Dan took at Claremont when he went through the oil, when it was at Sunholter, it blew his motor.
Yeah. He hit like a fucking shit ton of bricks.
The car bent everywhere around the driver's compartment. The driver's compartment was 100% intact. Nothing moved.
Yeah.
And that was because of, unfortunately, learning from other kids taking hits, seeing other hits, and going, I don't like that. I'm going to change this. That car had 3/16 plate steel underneath where the cage sat.
Yeah.
6 inches wide, the whole length of the cage, sandwiched together. So the cage became its own cockpit. So that car could literally get ripped out from underneath that cage, and he was going to be inside that cockpit.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. No, we went. So like that's how we learned too. We did fucking 3/8 inch steel, fucking hooked it all the way around, and then we got a car from Cody Sabins that we used for the cage. I believe the cage, and we saw that it was like a square tube all the way around. I was like, oh, that's actually a pretty good idea. So for the 19, that's pretty much what we did for the next one coming too. So.
To each his own. The square tube's good too. I like that a lot. But I've always been a big fan of. I used 1/4 inch angle iron that was 2 inches wide because you can plant the cage on it. You got a 1/4 inch thick steel, and it's not like, because the problem with square tubing, it's not like it's an end all be all, but it can collapse.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, it's hooked to the same steel that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
But like it's hollow. So with the angle iron, you're sitting on top of 1/4 inch plate. There's no give, nothing there, and then you put plate underneath of it. It can't move.
Okay. Gotcha. I mean, yeah. As long as you're safe. I don't know why. Like you ran into it recently that I didn't even know about with the fucking bottom doors of that car that you were working on. You were like, knock on the exhaust tube on the bottom of the car.
Yeah.
But the car has been around for.
Well, that was wasn't that one of Desmond's old cars? It started off as
It was Billings' old car.
Yeah, and then Desmond ended up with it.
Yeah, he ended up with it somehow, and then it went to Joey Holden's cousin. He wrecked me at Don Hayes with it after I gave him a transmission.
Yeah,
and then
Sweeney bought it off.
Yeah,
Joey.
then Sweeney bought it off. Okay, maybe we're a little bit reversed.
Yeah.
So I think it was. Yeah, no. Yeah, it was the same way. Yeah. So Desmond had it for sale. Joey came and bought it. Put a transmission in it. Got wrecked, and then it went. Then Joey came and bought it from, because you guys were looking at it before, but you guys didn't buy it at that time. Right?
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah,
before.
Exactly. Yeah, and then.
That car, quite frankly, I called it the slut. Everybody had a run on it. It was just, the car was beat. It wasn't a bad car, but it was just, you hear the stories of, they bent the right way. Well, that one was bent in the wrong way.
Yeah.
So small adjustments would make big changes on the car, and big adjustments wouldn't do shit. It was just one of those cars that I never liked it from the get go, just because of what it was. And the car looked cool as hell when I was done building the body on it. But,
yeah.
I mean, you may know him. I don't know the guy that bought it now, and it's floating around.
I don't even know who bought it. Who bought it?
I'm not 100% sure. I know Louis Mader knows the guy, and pieces of it Louis got now. It just kind of made its rounds type deal.
He's probably just taking suspension out of it.
No,
I don't know.
He was pulling the head off because he was going to do another B-Series motor at one point.
Oh, so Louis bought it?
I don't know if Louis bought it per se.
Oh, I know who fucking bought it.
It's somebody that he knows and hangs
Yeah, I
around.
know. It was fucking he runs at Monadnock.
Yep.
I'm fucking drawing a blank on his last name. I fucking ran against him. He won the championship there, but then he sold it to a kid that was running Pure Stocks this year. So
Yeah.
no, it's been around. It's been around.
Yeah.
No, I got.
And the car
it's
is-
gonna fucking bother me.
Yeah.
Keep going.
The car took a couple too many big hits.
Yeah.
So like when the car is twisted behind the driver's seat.
that's when I knew the DA was fucking done.
Yep. So it's
Because
like,
that's where it folded.
and then good for Dan and all them because they got rid of that car and they moved into
Douglas, Mike Douglas.
Yeah.
That's who it was. Sorry, Mike. It took me a second. Been drinking too many beers.
now they moved into the late model.
Yeah.
So good for them on that.
I mean, what, Dan?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, but he's obviously taken stuff that you
Well,
taught
yeah,
him to that too. I mean,
yeah. I mean, his basic amount. It's stupid as it sounds like for Dan. I think the sim rig helped him out quite a bit with
he's a
that.
fucking hack. No, that didn't help him. That did not help him at all. I hope you're
For
watching this, Dan.
For never running rear wheel drive, he did a lot better than I
Well,
thought.
no, yeah, no, I get it, yeah, and I mean, like, if he didn't start in the Star Troopers, you could start him in the go karts and then put him in a rear wheel drive, and
Yeah.
he'd be right at home. And you know what I mean? Like, these kids have. I had Sugar Hill Speedway, and I was, that was like right towards the end of it, so it wasn't really having any real races. So that's the only thing that I had doing with my buddy Avery before, and then just straight up just jumped into a fucking howler car and just went out there and figured it out when I was out there, but. Yeah, no, but like you said, the sim rig obviously helped him with wheel discipline and being smooth with the wheel, nice and easy, slow, and all that stuff. That's what I take from iRacing. That it helps me with my line stability. It doesn't make me sit there and saw the wheel unless I'm fucking dumb loose with a basketball on the right rear, like we had that night. So
Yeah.
So-
I mean, everything has its pros and cons. You can learn bad habits from a sim rig, and then you can get good habits from a
Yeah.
sim rig.
No,
And like you just
100%.
said, not putting a lot of wheel input into it because those cars are going to be like these things. You can drive it like a monster truck almost if you want to, and just you saw at the wheel. It isn't,
shout out to Donnie McCaffrey.
and it may not be the fastest way around the track, but you can still do it, and you can kind of run
Get
competitive.
away
laps.
with it.
But
Yeah, but you built your own sim rig.
Yeah,
I mean, you're pretty good, kind of, but I mean, still at the same time, you built your own sim rig.
yeah, it's got an accurate Integra seat.
Oh yeah, see, that's what it is, man. Like before I had my like gaming chair and stuff like that, I had a seat that you took out of a car and you put it on the ground and you make everything from there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, do you enjoy doing this stuff? Do you enjoy learning all this stuff and
yeah.
moving forward? I mean, we haven't heard from you at all, so I'm trying to get you to talk, man.
I don't really have any stories to tell.
Not yet, but you will soon, I'm sure.
You got a couple.
I mean, you can tell me about your dad's drunk stories at Star. I mean, I bet there's a couple there.
no, never.
I always like it when he just says, "I'll be right back," never comes back. I'm like, all right, see ya, take it easy.
Yep, that's usually the end of the night right there. That's my famous last words.
I'm gonna go take a trim.
Yep.
Oh man. I mean, so what are you doing, Paul? Are you coming back or what?
Me, will probably practice the car here and there. I might. Don't know what I'm doing. I really shouldn't be racing, period, just because I had a surgery on my neck and I'm missing part of my spine. So if I take a good wall shot or a good door shot, I don't want to be next wheels.
Is that from racing?
Who knows? I've done a lot of stupid shit over the years. So I fucked my neck up when I was younger and progressed. I've rolled a bunch of cars. There's all kinds of different variables that could have played into it. But long story short, I was losing feeling in my left arm.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll try go-karts out and we'll go from there.
Yeah, well, I've done the charity races and all that. Get out of those damn things and feel like I went through a 9-round fight.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no.
I thought you just stepped back because your kid's growing up and you want to get them into.
There was that, too.
Well, there's that, and you know what I mean.
I mean, really, when I got out of it was like the last year I ran Roadrunners or whatever was when Cody had the original car that I built, and it's the same thing. I took a shot in the Howler Roadrunner race, and it was one of those things. I got that tingly sensation down my back and all that. I was like,
Yeah.
well, that might have been your warning shot to tell you that it's time to step away for a little while and let shit heal.
No, I get it. Yeah, but you don't know if that shit will heal. So no, I get your point. I didn't know about that. Yeah, no, that's definitely something that'll make your eyes open. And you're like, well, what the fuck?
When your
know what I
toes
mean?
tingle, you know something's wrong.
Yeah.
But on top of that, as I told a lot of the young kids, told him, told all the kids I've ever talked to and worked with, it's like, hey, my balls are not as big as they used to be. I can't put them on the dashboard no more. I just can't wheel it like I used to because, I got a kid. So I worry about, hey, if I crack the wall and I'm in a wheelchair, I can't help him no more.
Yeah.
Or any of the
Definitely
other.
thought farther than I have already. Because I was like, oh, we'll try to figure out if racing will work. And then I did the tally and I was like, okay, we're going to take a couple years off. But
Well, I did that too when he was first born. And the same thing because I've always been on again, off again. I ran a bunch of races through early 2000 to 2003. Got my first win in 2001 in a truck enduro, and then a bunch of wins in 02, 03, and my first Integra, and then I stopped racing. Didn't really get back into racing 06, and then he was born. Then I stopped again. And I didn't do it again until 2012. So I took 6 years off between when he was born, like the photo you post. I think he was only like 6 years old in that photo.
oh, yeah. I was hoping that was him.
Yeah.
Well, you knew, like, the kids would come down and take pictures of
Yeah.
everybody. So I was like, that's 100% probably his kid.
Yeah.
But, like, the last time I saw him, he wasn't taller than me. I know that.
Yeah.
And he was out here setting fires to shit. I know that. So,
It happens.
yeah. No, I know. I just didn't know why he got out of it. I never knew. So,
Yeah.
there's some fucking insight for myself. I thought you just got out of it because you had a kid, and I understand why people step away from racing for a little bit to focus on the next generation that can take over from there. You know what I mean? Like, my dad stopped in 2001, I want to say, but my brother was born in 1997. He probably took a couple years off that time too.
Yeah, because when your father first started, it was when I was running just a full-blown four-cylinder enduros, and that's when Hudson started doing the truck regular touring series, but weekly series versus
Oh yeah.
and being an enduro. Because pretty much when I first started doing the truck enduros, it was just Wednesday nights and a handful of like Christmas in July, Howling Howler and stuff like that. So we had the Wednesday fun night, so it was like one, sometimes two Wednesdays a month we'd have a race at Star Speedway.
Yeah. I mean, you were there, so take us through the Road Warriors. That's what they were called.
Well, it went when I stopped running them. I never ran the Road Warriors. I never went.
So
over
that was the division.
Yeah.
Because my dad said that he stopped running them because they just let full-blown fucking Connecticut trucks come up and just...
And I saw a few of those when we were running the enduros come up once in a while. There was a Ranger. I can't remember the guy's name, but I'm looking at it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I helped build one to an extent. Me and Ricky Porter had this harebrained idea one day of...
That's another guy I got to get on. He's been around for a while.
We took a S10 chassis and I modified it to take a 2.3 Ranger motor on it that Paul Brown had and had to put a Ranger body on it. Needless to say, after people figured it out, people weren't really thrilled about the idea there was an S10 chassis with a Ford motor and a body on it because we made it look the part. And because if you've ever ran a Ranger, they get the twin I-beam suspension. They don't handle for shit.
Yeah, no, that's true.
S10's more like a Monte Carlo where you can set stuff up.
Yeah, and then you got my dad out of left field with a Mazda Isuzu.
You know, those actually went pretty good.
I mean, that thing was fucking short, fucking stout, and fucking going.
I remember the truck because I was always laughed because I had Cornwall on the side of my truck for years, and then he bought that. Well, he started racing that, and he had the whole white one with a looked like a Cornwall pickup, two truck going down the track.
Yeah. So yeah, I know. I remember that. We used to have a lot of ingenuity into that fucking thing too, but I mean, when they started having those Connecticut guys come in, that's when it really went away because you had guys that my dad was racing against that couldn't stay with them, and then my dad's sitting there absolutely full blown cheating in the fucking truck just to stay with them. So
yeah, I mean
that's how it went.
You got guys like Andy Nichols, his son, and I can't think of the third guy. They had 3 Rangers, and I got a photo floating around. That was me and my old Rampage that I got shit for. Terrio got more shit because he won more races than I did. But we all had Dodge Rampages, which is front wheel drive pickup.
Yeah.
It's like the mini El Camino, 4-cylinder El Camino, basically.
Oh no, I remember those. Yeah.
So there's a photo with me and Andy and his kid, or his the other guy, all in a big group racing against each other. And then Andy went and raced with your dad, and then Harry Robinson and
Yeah, the whole Rainbow Crew.
yeah.
That's what my
The
dad used
old Regan Ford, I believe it was. They all worked out.
Yeah. They were all doing that, but it was a good group. I mean, by the videos that I've seen as a kid growing up, I mean, the Road Warriors were they were a stout fucking thing.
Yeah.
I mean, even Oscar Leclerc went into it, and his daughter went into it, and then I think her boyfriend at the time tried to fucking fuck with my old man. My dad put the driver's fucking wheel right underneath the person's seat and said, "There you go," and walked away. I mean, that truck was built heavy. I was like, damn. So I get where he got it from. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, that's a blast of the past. I mean, I was a little kid fucking playing Matchbox cars, probably just like Matt was when, I mean.
Yeah, because like for that whole 10-day challenge on Facebook of post 10 photos, I posted a photo of my Integra when I first got it, when I ran yellow and red instead of yellow and blue. And it was me and Jesse Tellier. And I think that photo, I believe, is 2003. And that was right around the beginning and, the end of the Road Warriors. And they started more rookie stocks and stuff like that, true rookie stocks.
I wonder what made them go from trucks to a fucking... Because I know they had what were they called back in the day? They were like DOT tire V8s.
Yeah, rookies.
Yeah, rookies. So they had those going, and then...
The original rookies was basically from the lack of a better term, was the the Wednesday night fun nights that we had at Star, V8 enduro cars, go over and run Hudson on Sundays.
Okay. Because I'm just learning this shit, because all I had to go off of was my dad's stories of racing, and then the videos that I saw. I didn't know the backstory of it or anything like that. And I knew Star had a Wednesday fun night, but I didn't know they made it a thing for...
Well, like the rookie stocks and all that, like I said, originally they were like John Swain, Stephanie Swain, what the hell is this? Sean Norton. He used to run, he owns Fast Track Vinyl and Sign Service. All these guys, Tony Carroll, Tony Quasar, Tim Swain, I think it's not Swain. I'm getting pissed off that I can't think of the guy's name.
It's okay.
But
we'll get back to it.
Yeah, all those guys were all what I hung out with in enduros back then, and then they all moved into street stocks and all that. But those cars that they were running were basically rookie stocks.
Yeah.
And I worked at Sullivan Tire at the time, so I got all the cruiser takeoffs. So I was actually at Star Speedway selling cruiser tires for $5 a piece, because that was the best tire at the time to run a 225 70 15.
Yeah.
That was the biggest you could run, so those guys were buying them up as soon as I could bring them in. But that's where it all, those cruiser tires and all that, it was a lot more effective. And from what I heard, and I don't know how true it is, the American Racer guy basically said that we need more tires on American Racer. I'm not going to show up the track every week. So that's when the rookie stocks got put on American Racers, and it just snowballed from there.
Yeah, but back in what years were that?
That was
like 2000...
2003 to 2006.
Yeah, but it wasn't anything because they had, when I started going back to the track and everything that had to deal with that, they weren't really, they were tires.
Yeah.
That was it.
Because I'm trying to think of what one of the big classes that were running back then was Bud Light Lightnings. And,
yeah.
And occasionally, like, they had the V6 Super mods. Because that's where the 350 Supers evolved from, was a V6 Super.
Yeah, but then but from there, like 2006 to what? What did they go to?
See, that's where I stopped going to the track all the time.
Oh, gotcha. I mean, I went off and on and all that. And
I'd show up for the howler and stuff like that for a while, but it wasn't like I was there all the time. I'd help somebody gut and bash out glass. And
that's true. I had to pull teeth to get my old man back to the track sometimes, but... It's just
it all started me going back was because of Mark Hansen, because he asked me, hey, I got an Integra. I know you knew a lot about Integras. I want to race enduros. I was like, all right, whatever, fucking bring it over.
The one that
the original 6X it was.
Yeah, Leon bought.
No, that was a different one.
Oh, okay.
That was a 3. I don't know. I built so many of those damn cars that I can't remember where they all went, who's got them, what's left of them.
No, I mean, after they leave your yard, you don't really try to figure it out.
Well, a lot of them came back.
I wish I knew where my dad's old fucking truck went. That'd be cool to know, but that's probably fucking
At least I know-
Someone's new fucking catalytic converter somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
To be honest.
Pretty much I know where every one of the cars I've ever had went that I own personally. One's still sitting here. I mean, parts hanging around here from that car from 03.
Yeah.
I'm a pack rat. I keep shit. I
Oh,
don't
that's
throw
a
nothing
fucking understatement.
I don't like giving up nothing. I'm a cheap bastard.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if I got parts, I keep them.
My old man's the same way. As long as we have it, it's good for us. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right. Well, it's bent to shit, but all right.
I'm bad like that. I've taken control arms that are all bent the hell up, but the ball joint's still good. It's like, I'm going to save that. Why? That ball joint's still good. Ball joint's only 10, 20 bucks.
I don't think he's that serious.
Oh,
But
I'm bad. I've popped many a ball joint out of a bent up control arm to stick in one with a bad ball joint. You gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah, no, I get it. I mean, so what are like? I mean, through the years, I mean, you've probably come up with some fucking stuff to fucking throw in a car. Like, what is some of your? I mean, that you don't use anymore, because I asked Bobby Melvin this, and he's like, I ain't got much.
Yeah.
and then he's like, I still use it. So
Yeah.
stuff that you haven't used in a while or something like that.
As
I mean,
far as what, like a part that I put on a race car?
Ingenuity.
Ingenuity. Like a big
Oh,
one
boy.
was, I think you've seen it before.
PVC pipe.
No, I'm
fucking
not
spray
that bad.
painted black.
No, no, never done that.
Love you, Leon.
One of the big ones was back in the Roadrunner days, it had to be a stock coil spring. They didn't say if it could be cut or not. Well, I cut the damn thing in almost a third. Only used a third of it when I had a spacer pipe on it. So I was basically, for the lack of a better term, coil binding the spring.
Yeah.
So I got my 175 pound spring rate to 1,000.
Yeah, no.
So when the car laid over on that right front, it had no place else to go because it was coil bound. That was one of the stupid things that I did way back in the day. A couple of people have gotten a hold of cars that I've done stuff to, and they're like, they call me up, what the hell was that? I'm like, I was experimenting.
Well, that's racing. I mean, you're always looking to reinvent the wheel somehow to find, like I said, find the tent that you can't find. You know
Yeah,
what
and
I
I've
mean?
always been kind of lucky in a way that, I always been fair with people. I don't really charge a lot of money when I was doing the stuff all the time to help people build cars and stuff like that. So part of the deal is like every now and again, it's like, hey, you're getting an experimental part.
Yeah.
What is it? Well, I'm just fucking around.
Yeah.
Well, okay, you got bump stops and valve springs in them.
That is fucking experimental. That's different.
Did it work? Some cars it did, some cars it didn't. You know, like Donnie McCarthy ended up with something like that. He goes, I took the coil spring off the car and put the strut back in it and set it down. And it still stayed at the same height. And I couldn't figure out why at first because it still had the cover on it with the valve spring and all that.
Did you ever lengthen the top hats?
The top hats? Nope, I never did.
I know that's one thing that I've seen lately that if you...
I have cut the top out of strut towers and moved them back and filled it back in.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's known. We've done that, too.
Notching K-frames.
Yeah.
Cutting K-frames in half and extending them and moving them in different ways and putting it back together.
Yeah, no. I mean, over the years, like I said, Matt, you're going to learn a lot of stuff, and there's going to be stuff that you write on the board, and it's going to work out really great. And then there's going to be stuff that you write on the board, and you're fucking throwing a beer can at the board because you're like, why the fuck did I even do that? You know what I mean? It's just, like I said, racing's a lot of trial and error, and once you get it to where you like it, even as a racer yourself, you're still trying to find another 10th. I mean, you'd rather bust people by a half a track than a corner. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you have a lot to learn. I mean, Dakar, you got good backing. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, this guy has tried fucking everything. He's the only reason I didn't even know why I was popping fucking axles that day. And then you're like, are you gonna fucking even check anything? I was like, I haven't ever had this thing apart. You know what I mean? I wasn't lying to you. I was like, that fucking thing came apart by itself. I mean, all the vibrations and all that shit just fucking popped it. Made it loose.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you help out everybody, and I appreciate everything that you do, Paul. I hope you know that. I hope you know that a lot of people look for you for advice, and even if you're not even racing, you're still there. And I'll be in a shit mood, and you're like, try this, and I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll try it. I mean, there's nothing else that I can fucking do right now. You know what I mean?
I get a kick out of it. I don't know. I enjoy helping people. It's always been my thing. I don't know. I can't, like I said before, I'd like to get back in cars, but it's probably not the smartest thing. So
I get it. I understand. I didn't know why you got out of it. So knowing that now, I wouldn't chance it either.
Yeah.
I'd rather see you walking around stumbling than wheeling around stumbling. You know what I mean?
That's happened more than once. But going back to like you said, it's like, well, it started off with when I got back into racing was with the Parkers and Sweeneys, and that's where I got it. And then I actually found out then that I really enjoyed working with kids.
Yeah.
As far as being a mentor or whatever, I'm not always the greatest mentor because I taught them some shit. Parents don't like that I taught them, but that's what it is. But on top of that, it's like you said, it's like Jenna. I've helped her out quite a bit last year. It's like I don't ask for anything in return.
You don't ask for shit.
No.
I mean, I came here in like short notice, and I was like, hey, I know like this is really bad, and you got a whole fucking car in here, but like, can I borrow your lift because you're the closest person to Star right now? And you're like, yeah, fucking bring it by, da da da, and then you helped me out. You didn't have to you could have just said lift's full. You know what I mean? And like, there was another time that it was Star Classic. I come and drop off the car, and then we watched the sunrise together, and I was like, fuck.
I'm notorious for that one. Me and Tyson have seen the sunrise many a night.
No, he's a good shit.
Yeah.
We talked about it off air and stuff like that, and he's really loyal about. I was like, who the fuck told you that? Because that sounds like someone I know. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. It's just, I mean, you help out a lot of people, and I hope you know that a lot of people appreciate it.
That's always nice, but it's like I found myself, and I know for a fact with him, that's why part of it is like I want a group of people because I can be a dink when it comes to especially him because I have more experience, more expectations of what I think he should do. But that's just because he's my kid. But when every parent's kind of like that to an extent. So if I talk to Dan, Brian, Cody, Jenna, Shaylee, and all these other kids that
that's another person you helped out.
that I've talked to and worked with, or I'm drawing a blank on her name right now when she got Sweeney's old Camry, Duvall, Michaela, with her and all that. Sometimes kids will listen to somebody else more than to listen to their own damn parents.
True. Yeah, if you have an outside person,
Yeah, so it's...
You want me to fucking yell at him?
No.
I'll do it. Be like, tell me what you want me to say.
Yeah. But it's true, it's like, because I've seen parents go off the deep end on their kids, and
I mean...
And I don't agree with that, and I know I can be that way. So I was like, wait a minute, let me step in and help here, and you get more results that way, in my opinion. I mean... Again, that's where I really like the troopers was because there was a couple of people that would do things that were outside the box, but it wasn't that bad. It was just more or less that the kids were having fun, so it made it easier. Like in a way, some people may disagree and all that, but like the Thunder Lights, I wish they had when Dan and Cody and Brian got into that. I almost wish there was a Star Troopers that they could have ran for at least 1 year before they jumped into that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was against because I was even like 15 years old and I go to fucking Hudson and I see these guys like full war out there. And I'm like, what the fuck are they learning?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the problem.
But I get it. I get it. I mean, unless you have like a mentor telling you, like, that's what's good about the Star Troopers is that you have that person like saying like, hey, don't do this, do this. There's going to be some moments that Star Troopers are didn't teach you about, but you're going to either make it work or get swallowed. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's just...
I call them in-race situations, and then we'll figure it out from there. And I've had a bunch of them.
Yep. Any given time, you're going to have a shit show moment that you have to make a split-second decision on that you don't know.
Yeah. It'll either work or we're going to go for a ride.
Yep, I've done both.
Yeah. But over the years, you learn over your own mistakes that you made. Like, when I first started, I didn't give a shit if we got to turn one or not, as long as I was getting a pass. If I knew I was faster than someone, I didn't give it time. You know what I mean? So over the years that I did start doing it, I waited until the backstretch because then I'd be a little bit more wound up. Everybody's more spaced out, and we're not making it 3 wide, 4 wide into one. You know what I mean? So
for me, my biggest thing is, like, I've always used this with most of the kids, is like, even when you move up out of the troopers into any other division, it's time over distance. There's 50 laps, 25 laps, no matter what it is. Whoever can do that many laps, the shortest amount of time, is usually going to be in the top 5 or winning.
Yeah.
If you start at the back, obviously it's going to differentiate. But with that being said, it's like too many people I know have focused on straightaway speed. And for me, it's always, if you come out of the corner 5 miles an hour faster than the dude beside you, you're going to be 5 miles an hour faster at the end of the straightaway.
So yeah, that's one thing that you hammered down on Dan when he was racing, because there's literally in-car video of it where Dan would enter the corner and only lose 3 fucking miles per hour.
Yep.
Through the fucking, that's fucking good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially Hudson, I don't use fucking brakes, but
Yeah.
if you go to Star, you got to somewhat. And then,
you weren't using brakes there either.
Yeah.
I've never really
but
used
you
brakes.
set up for it. You know what I mean?
It's just how you enter the corner, and if you just roll out of the gas easy, because if you dump the throttle, it's going to make the car jack and it's going to make it push. If you ease up out of the throttle and let it slowly come down and then get back to the throttle, or if you even if you just stab the brake just for a second to make the ass then make it take a set.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But that was not unfortunately how to put it, but Dan out of the 3 boys was more similar to me.
Yeah.
So it made it easier, because if I told him something, it made more sense because he drove a lot closer to the way I drove when I ran.
Yeah.
So it made it a lot easier. Well, like Cody had a little bit of go-kart experience, so he was just trying to jack the wheel at first. Obviously, a 2,500 pound car isn't going to turn the same way a go-kart does.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
So that was his learning curve. Brian had never been in it. He was the youngest. Well, him and Dan were probably about the same age. They were both like 12 years old.
Yeah.
Getting into a full-blown mini stock.
Yeah, so I get your point, because even as a fan, even watching it, and even before like me and my dad even thought about going racing, I told my dad, I was like, we're not doing Thunder Lights because I'm not gonna learn much. I mean, given I've been driving cars since I was 8 years old, around the shop when he had a shop and all that stuff, and I mean, but you don't have kids that have that experience. It's only few in between. So if some kid is coming out of nowhere and their dad used to race, and then they didn't have the same lifestyle that their dad had to go through, you know what I mean? It's definitely a big learning curve.
Yeah, and that's the other big thing, like you said, that I mean, like, I grew up around, my friends had farms, my grandfather had a big piece of property. I mean, I was driving stuff I was 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
Fixing, working, driving tractors. That's how I learned how to drive a standard, was on a 1950-something 8N tractor, that's what he had. So it's that kind of stuff that most kids today don't, unfortunately, have.
They don't have it at all. And that's the best thing about the Star Troopers, is because you guys don't have, I won't say, well, some kids have the same experience that we had, but I won't say that they didn't at all. But I'm going to say at the same time, they didn't have the same stuff we had going up through the ranks. We didn't have the kids divisions. We had a kids division in quotations, but it wasn't really a kids division.
As far as I know, when it comes to kids divisions, and I could be wrong on this, is like Pete Frazier and some other guys did up at Claremont. That's where Zachary started, was up there doing the kids division. I know Beach Ridge kind of had the Whiz Kids, and that's where Amanda and Jay came from. And they brought it down there because they didn't like the fact that the Whiz Kids up there weren't getting any like attention, so to speak, of the kids didn't get any time on the track. Like when he first started, we were running on Saturday mornings for 2 or 3 hours, and then racing a race at night. Where they were almost like that warm-up band for the concert that you went to that you don't know anything about. Whereas you're walking into the concert hall, all you hear is somebody playing because it is filling time.
Yeah.
And that's why Amanda and Jay, as far as I know, and I could be wrong on that statement, why they left there and brought it to Star Speedway. And now you got Knezit and Machad's that took it over. And when I can, I'm not always there, but when I can, I'll go out there and help kids. I'm that dumb bastard that's crazy enough to sit on the floor pan beside another kid that's never driven a car.
Yeah, I mean,
and take hot laps with them. Granted, I've grabbed the steering wheel out of a couple of kids' hands and let's go this way.
I get it. No, but it's the stuff you got to do to fucking teach them.
Yeah,
I mean, these kids, they have such a. I hope more kids I'll even put it on the podcast. I hope more parents see this podcast and say, like, oh, we should get the kid in. There's so many. We have the Heroes, Hudson Heroes that.
There's nothing wrong with the Hudson Heroes.
Hudson Heroes. We got the Star Troopers. We got
Wisconsin starting one this year.
We got the Young Guns, and I'm just so glad to see that they're starting to push it towards the younger generation coming up.
And as far as I know, like with Wisconsin, they're using more of the Jay and Amanda Avery philosophy of and I didn't like it at first where they only wanted American cars versus Japanese and all that. I kind of get it because the only problem is granted, like his Cavalier that he had was the old school single cam. It wasn't the twin cam EcoTech.
Oh yeah, no, I know them.
They're gutless. You're not going to run
I know them.
But like Jimmy Connor's Cavalier was a twin cam EcoTech. There's potential with that motor. So at least with that motor, you can move it up and through.
I mean, there's ministock Nemus guys that run that motor.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But that single cam, I mean, you could go way back to basically, I call it the sister car to his that had the old, for the lack of a better term, I think it's like the cousin to the Iron Duke. It was a push rod motor. It's really basic, but guys run dirt, love them. I don't know why, but they do. I've never...
Probably just don't fucking blow up.
No, they're probably strong as hell. I don't know. They just don't turn a lot of RPMs. They're not happy when they're turning a lot of RPMs.
Then that's why they're off the throttle a lot more.
Yeah. Ooh, with asphalt, especially at a bull ring like Star, Hudson, Monadnock, they're small tracks. It's a lot of RPM that you're going to have to carry if you want to come out of the corner good and all that. I mean, you don't have torque. I'm sorry. 4-cylinder cars don't make a ton of torque. So it's all RPM that keeps the momentum going.
Then that's one thing that we can go back to what you said that, like, excuse me, these things are fighting back. Like you said, it's more about corner speed and not straight line speed because with the circle track racing that we have, I mean, it is. Wow, there we go. Yeah. This is the Rough and Vendors podcast. Yeah, this has been a shit show. I'm glad I had this problem with Paul because, well, we call him PJ. Yeah. Okay, we'll call him PJ. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I just wanted to be professional, but we call him PJ around here. Everybody knows him as PJ. He's a fucking ingenuity. Come here, the fucking power don't work on this damn thing. We figured out it was broken. We grabbed a drill bit, made it work. Fucking, here we are. But I appreciate you helping me out. But, yeah, no, the video was over the sponsors and everything like that, so I apologize. But moving forward, seeing these kids have more opportunity than I ever had. I mean, I did a couple enduros with the cab that I had because I was gonna run. My first race ever was gonna be the Halloween Howler at Star. Fucking LJ's mouth got us kicked out of that. So that
I remember that weekend.
Yeah. LJ's car got destroyed in like 4 laps. Thanks, Chris LaChance. And then mine went on a trailer, and we were like, "Fuck it, we'll go do pure stocks or something like that." We go up to Claremont, but like I said, I didn't have a kids division to go into. And I didn't even start until I was 18 because, 17, 18, because we didn't have anything. We had Thunder Lights or go run with the big guys and go run street stocks or mini stock or road runner.
Yeah.
Which was, but being that person back in the day, you look at that as a person that's just coming into the fucking sport. It's not really much that you can grasp off of. You know what I mean?
The biggest problem is that I see with it, man, I like the pure stocks. There could be a little bit of fixing of some things, but...
Oh, yeah. You want to go into that?
No, not really. There could be some fixing of
we always
stuff.
agree to disagree on some shit on that.
There's certain things that I'm the type of person of, if the rule states this is the way it goes.
Yeah.
Do I think that you're right, that maybe there should be some other stuff that are allowed? Of course. You got to have a little bit of room for ingenuity. So with that being said, it's good, but the only good thing at keeping everything into a tight-knit thing, and I agree with you with the horsepower cap, in my opinion, because you're going to have guys pieing.
That's going to start a shit show.
I know it does. But the only thing is like you, to an extent of what you send, you got guys going out and buying
a single cam that has no fucking reason being out there anymore.
There's that, and then you got guys going out and buying a 2008 Honda SI that's making 250 horse from the factory. The Integra is 140 horse. Granted, you can get a lot more power out of them, but then now you're cheating.
Yeah, no, we're big cheating. You know what I mean? But but I get their point. Over the years, yeah, there's evolution, but there's the point where, I mean, you didn't. It wasn't that big of a factor. If Integra still made fucking cars,
Yeah.
it'd still be the same fucking thing.
Yeah. No,
And-
the RSX took its place, but
Yeah, which I get, but at the same time, you go like when I was out there and I was competing with the DA, and I was sitting 6th place with a bunch of mini stocks, which they called Roadrunners, with a fucking $500 car.
yeah,
And that's where, if you're trying to make a division cost effective, if I had to pay $500 to go race a fucking car and be competitive with all the knowledge that I had over the fucking years of running a cab and everything like that, then okay, I'd take that.
and that's where I agree with letting some shit go, of giving them a little bit of room to play with, because back in the day of the Roadrunners, before they became the mini stocks, there was dudes out there that had more money into a motor than I made in 6 months. It is what it is. You know, it's allowed. I don't blame anybody for doing what's allowed. Me, Dan's car, at the end of it, me and John figured it out. If to build the car from scratch, it was $3,500 for the whole car. And it was competitive. So it's all about what you want to do, how you want to do it. I mean, I'm sorry, and I know a lot of people, and this is one of their complaints about the pure stocks, is you can't run rear wheel drive. I think
they allowed them.
They're going to allow them now, but
No, they did last year. No one ran a rear wheel drive.
okay, so they did change that rule. When they first came out, it was no rear wheel drive.
Yeah.
And I get the complaint of, if you're going to move up through the ranks, you need to run a rear wheel drive like a Mustang. Well, my problem with the Mustangs is they cost too much money to be effective in that class. So Chris Schroeder and Carl Schroeder, when they first went into mini stocks or Roadrunners at the time, I told them just to, in my opinion, jump ship now. Build a streeter. If you want him to run rear wheel drive so bad, build a streeter now. You're going to learn more in that car than you are from that Mustang. And they sold the car. I can't remember, Ben McFarland, I think, ended up with it, and then it went someplace else. Car's been around a little bit after that. But it's just one of those things of, if you want rear wheel drive so bad, in my opinion, build a streeter. Or now you have the slingshots.
Yeah, that's your best bet.
But at that time, there was no slingshot.
there
It was
no such
streeters.
thing.
You still kind of had rookies, but they were streeters.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, they were old fucking built motor,
Yeah.
fucking street stocks that people forgot about, and then they had a class that they could run them again.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Well, a lot of the pro enduro cars
That's what
are
they
old
are.
rookies
Yeah, yeah.
again. And I like that. And it's like, even with the enduro series or whatever, like Leon's done and all that, I competed in that series. I won a championship in that series.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. I commend anybody that's trying to make anybody have a spot to race. In my opinion, it goes back to like shitting on Lee, shitting on Starr, sitting on Hudson. You shouldn't on anybody, because all these things that people are working for and fighting for are going to dry up if you keep shitting on everything.
Yeah, but I get that, but at the same time, I get it.
Yeah.
And I've obviously scaled back from the first time that I fucking put out this podcast.
Yeah.
Obviously scaled back, and I started working with Joe Bassett and Ren and Steve Grant, who's the GM at Hudson, and all that. And then, but yeah, obviously we scaled it back, but we're going to go back to what you said, what the rule stated, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
If it says no high performance configurations, then no high performance configurations. I'm sorry.
And I get that. And that's where it's like they built in a gray area where if the car makes 197 horsepower, if it's, or whatever it was, 190, 197, whatever, how they wrote it, it goes, and you have to weigh this much right side weight.
But that was the big thing about the pure stocks this year, was that, they had to add more weight.
Yeah.
But the only way they could make a fucking argument against how the big guys, the big motor guys, weren't winning was one track that momentum is fucking everything, which those single cams fucking hold.
Yeah. And I get both of that, you know what I mean? Because there's a tool for every purpose, you know what I mean? You're not going to use a sledgehammer when you're just driving a nail in. So some cars are going to work better at a small bull ring where you can hold it basically to the boards and just breathe the throttle for a second, take a set, and wide open again. versus like an RSX. I've driven them. They're damn fast down straightaway. Getting them to turn is a different story.
Oh, they're a bitch.
But if you get it to turn, how they're getting them to turn, I'm not 100% sure, but they're doing something. Because that's the other big thing is like when you look at the rules, and I know I'm not 100% on this. I know Star didn't do it, but is left side weight. If you got 3 cars that are all the same car, RSX, RSX, and RSX, they all should roughly be within 100 pounds on the left side, depending on size of driver. But now when you got some that if you put them on the scales and you're going, well, why is this thing got 55% left side weight? They're doing something to the car that by the rules is illegal.
Yeah.
Which, again, I'm not against, but at the same token, it's like, well, if we're going to write rules and some people follow them, some people go in the gray area, some people go into the bucket. If you're not looking, I'm going to do that.
Well, which I totally understand because I'm the same fucking way. If they're not going to check it, then I'll give you something to fucking yell about, and then as long as you leave the other shit that I did alone, which fuck you,
yeah.
you'd come to me after and be like, change that. I'm like, okay, fucking asshole. But I give you something and be like, yeah, yell at me about that. You know what I mean? But I mean,
from being on the tech side of it,
yeah, that's what I'm going into. Like, how does that work?
It was just one of those things.
Why is there so much turnover from tech?
I mean, Kyle's
because
doing
if I was a tech guy, I wouldn't give a shit.
Quite frankly, I didn't even volunteer for this year that went past because I thought he was going to be racing this year, and to me, it was going to be a confliction of interest. You know, I don't want to be doing teching for a class that my kid's running in.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I don't want nothing to do with streeters, rookies, and all that stuff. That's above my pay grade, so to speak. I've always dealt with front wheel drive stuff, but I don't even want to. I mean, I could probably figure 90% of it out, but I don't want to pretend to know everything about it when I don't.
Well, yeah, because when they said that you were the tech guy for PureSox, I was like, I'm fucked.
Mm-hmm. But at the same token, it's like, I mean, I bounced a few different people over the years and over the time when I did it, but it was me. I have a different philosophy, and some people don't agree with it. It's like beginning of the season, if you're worried about tech, come see me. We can check your car out, and if it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
If it's not, and I see something I don't like, I'm going to tell you, fix it. And there's one thing I don't agree with a lot of these techs that they do is you blatantly know you're not doing something that's within the rules and you get caught for it. They shouldn't be fix it for next week.
Yeah, no.
And
keep going.
And that's just my thing. You know, I've never been that kind of guy. It's like, well, this is what it is. I mean, between doing tech for that, doing tech for the Howling Hauler and all that, and the amount of crap I've seen through the Howlers
my God.
Pure stock seem like a nice walk in the park. But it's just, I'm sorry, I'm that kind of guy that if I have no problem giving leeway for certain things, but when you're blatantly going way outside the box, now that's not an accident. You know, accidents happen.
Yeah, no. No, I totally understand. I just wanted to see how you felt on it because you were a tech guy yourself, and I wanted to know why there's so much turnover. I get it, like some people get sick of hearing people bitch and all that shit, but
don't get me wrong. That's you take people that you considered a friend, and they're screaming at you like,
yeah, I don't
your
get
worst
that.
enemy.
I don't get it,
and it's like, well, I'm sorry that I caught you with this, or this happened, or that happened, but you clearly read the rule book.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, I've always been that guy when it came to rule books. I read them thoroughly because I like finding gray areas. That's where I have fun playing in the gray area. If I can find something that's in the gray area and you tell me it's no good for next week, okay. Okay, we're changing this. This can't be like that. Okay, fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's gray. You can't tell me, like I use it as somebody who was, I told you about it with Clark Brooks' dad.
Yeah.
And I'll give the man credit. Because he put it down in the rules, it said batteries, plural, have to be in the driver's position or behind the driver, in the stock position or behind the driver's seat. If he ran 2 batteries, good for him. That's a gray area that has since been changed.
Yeah.
But good for him for finding something like that. That's the way I look at it.
I give him props because he told me straight to my face what he was fucking doing, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, all right, cool. I mean, 2 batteries, I don't know what the fuck that will do, but okay.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I didn't even look at the rules. So when they changed the rules, I was like, who the fuck was out here running 2 bad? It took me a lot of drinking nights in between, obviously.
Yep.
But yeah, like you said, he looked at the rule book and he was like, well, fucking,
Because that's
That's
the other
left side weight.
the other thing that the rules don't say. You can put a battery behind the driver's seat. It doesn't say it has to be within 10 inches, 12 inches, a foot, 2 feet, as long as it's behind the driver's seat. It doesn't say if it's going to be the stock battery for that car or if it's a fucking battery of a Mack truck.
Yeah.
And when you're not allowed to run ballast weight, okay, that's free ballast weight.
Yeah, no, true. No, true. I mean, yeah, as long as you do it right,
Yeah.
don't be fucking coming out here with left side weight that's not hooked down. Because we had an incident with that at Star, so
I've seen
it's
that.
just one of those like fucking gray areas that is scary at the same time because you have balance weight, but then you have people that think about it, but they don't think too much about it,
I've seen.
and then they come out with some fucking crazy shit.
Okay, I've seen over the years, I won't name names, I may have had help in it and may not, of a water bottle that weighed 40 pounds because it was full of lead.
Yeah, well,
That moved from the driver's side.
that's like back in the day where we used to fucking drill or slot the fucking cage, fill it with lead, and fucking put a piece of fucking pig right back over it. You know what I mean?
Or I've literally seen dudes that would run with a 25-pound brick of lead in their fire suit and fire it over to the right-hand side because they only had right-hand scale weight. So the car would make the extra weight. Because if you get, it's almost a 60-pound, 70-pound swing on the scales. If you're carrying 25 on one side and you throw it to the other just because of the balance, it's a big difference. And that's scary in a way.
It's very scary.
That they unzipping their fire suit, pulling lead out, and firing it over to go over the scales. There's a lot of stuff like that that's been done over the years, and there's probably a lot worse stuff I've heard.
I think that's what I love the most about short track racing at a point because you get some ingenuity guys that are doing it, and you're like, well, I would never do that, but fucking kudos to you. You know what I mean?
That's what it boils down to. Is a lot of that's in that wheelhouse of it's not right, but god damn it, that worked.
Yeah, but weren't you the tech guy that said you were gonna start drilling people's quarter panels?
Yep, and shit changed quick.
How quick?
I started seeing cars that were running really well on a regular start slowing down. And I can't say that they were doing anything wrong, but you see a car that's running 0.2 slower from the week before, something happened. I don't know what it was. I can't say what it was. I ain't gonna point fingers or anything like that. But because at that point it was me and Cody Pitkin that was doing it. For the most part, he kind of helped me out because he was working at Star with me, and so there. So that's where that, we said it during a tech meeting, and then it was just funny. The following week, everybody was like, the fast cars was like 10th and a half slower. And I could be wrong, could have been coincidence or anything of that nature, but it seemed funny to me.
Oh yeah, when you told me, I was like, what the fuck do you mean by that? And then you fucking went through it, and I was like, oh, that's actually pretty fucking smart. Kudos to them. But at the same time, yeah, no, people back in the day used to put lead in their fucking. And I bet it still happens today, just no one checks it.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I know I've never personally seen it, but I've heard stories on, like, the classic lights of the rubber rails being full of lead on the left-hand side. And just to keep the balance out that way. So you put less weight into it to make the cross and all that. That cage that was in that 68 car that I was telling you about that Parker was in, when I cut it open and cut the car apart, the whole left-hand side of the cage was filled with lead. And it was 065 wall. So that was the reason why that car bent the way it did, but they had filled the whole cage with lead.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go ahead.
Excuse me.
Yeah, they're fighting back, man.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I mean, over the years, I think that's the best thing about short track racing is that you get the ingenuity that you wouldn't think of until someone does it. And you're like, well, fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just one of those.
When it comes to a lot of that stuff, I've been fortunate enough just because I've been around this area. Because Star Speedway back in the 80s was where everybody wanted to be. Racing was different than it is now. Now it's a culture. Back then is what everybody did.
Yeah.
So being able to see shit like Fred Brown had built baffles for his oil pan that were basically made out of door hinges with springs.
Yeah.
To keep the oil in the pickups on a super, because when he laid back, it dumped down. It was probably something he learned from his father, but just seeing being at the house that he used to own, and the stuff was still floating around. So being able to look at this old school engineering of using a door hinge with a piece of sheet metal pop riveted to it, so the oil would flop back when you went down the straightaway, but stay going through the corner, so the motor wouldn't cavitate. It's not really any rule that's bad, but by no means. But it's just the ingenuity that came from guys that were really good at racing that didn't have a lot of money to put into racing.
Yeah, no, that's where the ingenuity starts. Because you can go out and buy a fast car, or you can make a fast car.
Yeah.
As a person yourself, you don't look at the money that much if you're doing it yourself doing it. You know what I mean? And that's what I've learned. I was like, well, I'm spending the same money, but I'm doing it my way, so it's going to the right places. But at the same time, to go back to the weight shit, you don't sacrifice safety for it.
No.
My car won with 2,500 fucking pounds, almost 26.
Yeah.
If I could eat one more cheeseburger, I was at 2,600 pounds out there with an Integra. I'm serious.
Yeah, and that's what it basically boiled down to, like with Dan's mini stock, because a lot of people thought it was really light, and it weren't. And then I was talking to different people about it, and I was like, come on, you look at the scale, I don't care. That thing was a pig compared to a mini stock. I mean, we could only, with the weight rule for the non-VTEC 1.8, we could run at 2,300 pounds total weight. The thing weighed almost 2,500 pounds.
Yeah. Could we get there? No.
It's like, it's not happening.
Yeah,
you know?
That was the same with when we first built the car. We put it on scales, and I was like, well, we're good on weight. I know that. Even if they wanted to add fucking weight, we're good on weight.
See, that was the one thing I disagreed with, Will, is because like the hater weight.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm the same way.
With that car being so heavy, it's like, I'm already over I shouldn't have to add any weight. I built hater weight into it.
Yeah.
And no, whatever supposedly whatever the beginning weight is that first time you get tech for the year, they write it down, and you got to be 50 pounds over that. I'm like, all right, whatever.
I mean, yeah, no, that's what it is. I mean, it is what it is. We go and come back, and we try it another day. I don't mind the rules. There's some stuff that we have to change, and hopefully over the years we figure it out and go from there.
Yeah.
I have no complaints about it. It's just that one thing. I'm like, okay, so we have this. You say it's this. If someone's sitting there and they're starting to get into racing, they want to come run pure stocks, they go and buy a single cam because they think they have a chance. And you might as well just fucking pitch a tent at one of the local Monadnock fucking hotels and hang out for the year.
Go over to a little casino.
Well, yeah, but but like people are like, well, there's momentum tracks around here.
There is,
but
in my opinion, that's why, like up in Maine, as most of the guys that run up in Maine, they all run on parking lots.
Oh yeah.
So
I figured that out.
The old single jingles
shit,
seem to work okay up there. But when we got high bank, there's a lot more momentum, which carries, more momentum through the corner, carries more straightaway speed, and it's just those cars, you need more power, especially at a Hudson and Monadnock, in my opinion, just because the amount of power, speed you can carry through turn 1 and 2 at Monadnock. Right?
Yeah, you can be full bore.
Yeah.
You can just burp it.
Yep.
That's what I learned.
Yeah.
I was like, holy fuck.
And I've ran single cams. I've run CRXs and all that, and they're fast. There's no getting around them. But when you put them up against a 1.8 or a B16 or anything like that, when you're dealing with an extra 50 horsepower, it shows up.
Well, yeah, no, that's what I mean. And I just want to look out for those people that want to try to get into racing. I don't want them to see false advertising to where they're like, well, why the fuck did I even do this if I could do this? And so, like, if we're going to allow them, just allow them. Fuck it. I don't care. They don't attain to me at all.
And that's one of the good things that I like about the pure stocks per se, is it's almost like old school racing, because there's so many different manufacturers that are actually competitive. Right now, if you go run the street, or you're running Monte Carlo chassis or metric clip or a Camaro clip, that's it.
That's it.
If you're running stick shooters, especially now that they did the whole and dodged whatever I heard.
Well, I mean, that guy had fucking...
Again.
I know, it's one of those things. Well, fucking thank you for fucking figuring it out.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
Yeah. But with that being said, if you're not running a Monte Carlo SS or something that's very similar to it, you're not doing shit in a thick shooter now. I mean, that guy with the Dodge, kudos to him for figuring out, went a little too hard, too fast, and got his shit that's DQ'd basically. But they wrote rules around it because of that. Sometimes you have to ease into it. But
Sandbag.
yeah, that's the polite way of putting it.
Well, yeah.
It is, but and but that's one thing I love about the pure stocks is that you got a Honda, Cavalier. There's different cars that are running out there. I think Dodge Neons. Yep.
Fucking Scions.
Yep. There's cars that can run out there and be competitive. Because I grew up during the 80s where you saw a Thunderbird out there against a Camaro and a Dodge Challenger or whatever. And, because you stole leftover cars from the 70s being run as streeters. You don't see that no more. NASCAR was built off from the big three, funneling money into it to make it more popular to an extent because cars that, win on Sunday sell on Monday.
Yeah, that's true.
But now everything is like, I guess I'm a Chevy guy now because everything out there is a Chevy. So at least with the pure stocks, you have a little bit of diversity on it.
Well, I get it. But I just want the guys to know that what they're getting into before they go and sell the house to come racing and fucking sit there and just be like, well, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
And I get that part too, but here's the other problem. Not a problem, but the other thing I look at is people go out there that want to win right off the bat. Good for you.
Well, yeah, no, that's a whole different fucking thing.
Yeah, but if you just want to go out there, I mean, the best way to describe it, Dana Sullivan, back in the day, running Roadrunners. He was out there to have a good damn time. He knew he weren't going to win any races. He was having fun. Mm-hmm. And I kind of miss that about a lot of the stuff of people just going out there to, some people, I don't want to be a field filler. No, nobody wants to really be a field filler, but if you're having a good time, fuck it.
No, yeah, that's true. I mean, there's nothing really.
Dana did good back in the day and all that towards the end. He just, cars evolved around him, but he still showed up every week and had a blast. Ken McElvain, same thing. I grew up watching Ken win lots of races, championships and stuff like that. That guy could drive. And he always had good equipment, but it evolved away from him where his stuff just would not keep up no more.
Oh, yeah.
But he still showed up every fucking Saturday with his little Mustang 2 and had fun out there. And
And that's the same thing with the Integras. I mean, I get it. At the same time, I understand. We can't find 98 Integras anymore. We can't find 2,000 Integras, 92 Integras at least. I mean, we can't find them. I get it. I understand. If everybody could build them, they would. But if they can't, then okay, it's on to evolving, and I get it.
And there's that too. But like me, I'm sorry to say it, I'm never going to move away from Integra unless I get a smoking deal on something else because I have way too many parts floating around. It's like I can rebuild the whole suspension on the car 3 times with just the spare parts I have laying in the back room.
Yeah, build a whole car with what you got in the back room.
Yeah, don't sell your trailers.
Yeah,
don't ever.
Yeah,
no, you can't even find them.
No,
you have to go cut them out of a fucking cut them out of a car, and then there's 2 that you can't use anymore. If you bend them, so And then if you want to fucking get replacements for them, that's went back to that's went back to the strut rule that they had and stuff like that. I was out there 100 pounds heavier than everybody else with those things, but I was like, I can't find, because of the tuner scene, I can't find no damn stock struts no more.
Well, that was a big thing, especially with the Hondas. I couldn't say for other cars out there that were racing, but I've been working as a mechanic since the 90s. So with that being said, I remember putting quick struts basically, or coil springs in Integras when they were 4 years old because the springs were breaking. And then when a quick strut came out, it was like all mechanics were like, hallelujah. All I do is slam this in and be done with it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of these cars that are rolling around there that they consider illegal because the stuff is older, have quick struts in them. They had quick struts in them when they were calling them legal. Now I get it. Most of them have eased up on that. I was never.
Oh yeah, no, they changed. I'm not going anywhere with it. I was just making a point. Yeah. They changed it back to where we didn't have to had anything, everything. If you have the receipt, you're good from there. I'm not saying anything. I was just saying that was another thing that we went through with it.
Yeah, and I just never understood that rule when I was doing Tech at Star. If you run quick struts, you ran them both. You didn't run one.
Yeah, no, we didn't have any fucking advantage.
Yeah,
I mean, given you could probably do your fucking research and find one, but
well, not just that, because a lot of the quick struts that I saw, they were millimeter to 2 millimeters thicker spring than a stock spring. So you're not getting an advantage if you're running both of them. If you're running a soft left front, obviously it's going to pull the car down a little bit more.
No, anybody that knows fucking setup, yeah, obviously.
But if you're running both a match pair, I could care less.
Yeah. And I'm glad they moved away from that.
Yeah.
That's another thing that they changed and that I agreed with and I appreciated very much because I really got sick of fucking bolting in 100 pounds of lead from Desmond every fucking weekend I wanted to go run somewhere. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
And the sad part is places like Rock Auto or AM Auto Parts and all that. You could get a pair of quick struts with sway bar links and you could buy this whole kit, front and rear, for like $120 for a Honda. Or I could go down to
the junkyard and pay $375 for fucking 4 struts.
Yeah.
You fucking take the strut and you can do this and the fucking spring's moving. And you're like, okay, so what am I?
Or the fact that you go down to O'Reilly Auto Parts and pay $67 for a new shock, or strut rather, and have to put that old garbage spring back on it. It's not that the spring's really that bad, but it's the whole, a lot of people don't have what I have or you may have.
Yeah. No, 100%.
I got a strut compressor hanging on the wall, so I can compress all this stuff and swap that out if I want.
Yeah, same here.
Not everybody that's running a pure stock has a strut compressor. I know, like, Donnie McCarthy's come over here quite a few times. Yeah, that's it.
I was like, who is that?
Donnie's come over here quite a few times and
Yeah.
used mine. I bent spindles and all that stuff for him, but it's just one of those things of not everybody has all the same tools, especially in a low end division.
The guys are just trying to get their feet wet.
Yep.
And I get it, and I praise them for doing that.
No,
because it helped us low budget guys a lot because you are not going to see me rolling around in the fucking dirt for fucking Integra parts unless I'm looking for real trail arms. That's it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I literally bought whole cars just for parts.
Oh yeah, no, that's probably why we can't find Integras anymore. Me and my old man bought 8 in one fucking winter and fucking just took all the parts out of them.
Yep.
That's all we needed them for.
Because like the CRX all the way through the Integra, the rear swing arm, as long as the disc brake setup is the same. If you get a CRX SI, Civic SI from 89,
Didn't
all the way
fucking matter.
Didn't matter.
Yeah, no.
So, again, being a pack rat, I tore everything apart. I mean, I got shit for that old car that I ran back in 2003 still floating around here. It's still good. Why keep it? Why not get rid of it?
Yeah, you gonna sell me those little?
What? Which ones?
The Monzas?
No.
Fucking asshole.
I still gotta find more. The only person I know has got a bunch of them won't give them up.
Yep. No, he told me no too. So there it is. Ah, man. Well, I mean, like I said, Matt, you got a lot of backing. This guy knows a lot, and keep your ingenuity with you too, because I mean, you as you said, you half built your fucking sim rig, but most people wouldn't do it. They'd go out and buy one. You know what I mean? The ingenuity starts anywhere that you do it. Yeah. I mean, you're out here starting fires all by yourself without any fucking supervision. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I hope you keep with that. I wish you a lot of luck and hopefully learn a lot. I mean, if you have any questions, I'll be around Star and all those places. Is he running Hudson too, or just Star?
Just Star.
Just Star. So
just Star for now.
Just run around. If you have any questions, I know he knows way more than me, but if you have any questions when you don't want to listen to him bitch at you, I'll be there. I'll help you out with anything that you want. I mean, I've raced these all my time too. I mean, I had 2 years with a cab, so. But I wish you good luck in the pure stocks. I mean, there's a lot of good guys out there. We got Leon Kenniston, George Riley, Aaron Aiken, Jimmy Connor. I mean, they don't know these cars, but they know they've raced against us. They'll tell you anything that you want to know. Jenna Bolio, Tyson's Payne's son, Bobby's coming. So, I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that'll come over, and we're all just one big family. Don't think it's like the street stocks where we're yelling at each other at the end of the feature.
Always fun.
No, it gives me entertainment. I don't care.
Yep.
So with the Rough and Fenders podcast, there's the Rough and Fenders moment. Matt, have you had one? Have you hammered something yet?
Yes, you have. The Troopers when you and
that was interesting.
Yeah.
So go through it.
I don't know. It was more or less in the Troopers, and I think it was Allison Avery and Jenna were just going and beating and banging, and they took each other out into the wall and came down and pushed another one of my buddies, Caden, into me, and I just drove him down to the infield and bent the front fender up.
But for the troopers, it's kind of
Yeah.
any accident, any accident.
Yeah. I mean, you have one now. I mean, it's only
It's only
the
gonna get
start.
better.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta wait for those moments where they knock the whole wheel out of your fucking hand.
That's like back in the day when I used to tell the kids when they first started doing the Thunder Lights. It was like, whatever you do, don't find the barn. What barn? Now that they've cleared a lot of land over at Hudson, you see the barn plain as day.
Oh, yeah.
I've hit the barn.
Yeah.
You know, so that's
Yeah, my old man's been over there too.
Yep.
And
picking grapes out of your car for a month.
oh yeah, that, and you had to go ask the old lady if you could bring the whole trailer and truck out there and pull your fucking car right out of their backfield that's full of fucking mud. And just one of those things. How about you, Paul? I mean, you've been doing it. PJ. God damn it. I'm trying to be professional.
It is what it is.
PJ.
You kind of alluded to one earlier at the Lee Speedway. I think one of my best ones that I always laugh about.
Is when Paul drove onto you.
That's happened too. Yeah, I made the Howler T-shirt when I was driving Mark's old 14 car that Shaley was driving. I got run over by Paul Wainwright. Tyler Chase got into me, got me sideways, and Paul came in for cleanup. So we made the T-shirt. So I guess that's good for something. The best one I've ever done personally for me, because I was just so pissed off, is back when we did the Wednesday Fun Night renting enduros and all that stuff. Is I can't even think of the guy's name. I still see him. It's funny. He looks the same too. He used to
I
run.
hope he hasn't changed.
No, I mean just from you got to figure this is 20-something years ago.
True. Okay, yep. Yeah, I gotcha.
And he's over there. He used to run the first gen CRX with torsion bars, and he was slamming the shit out of me. He just hit me, and I just had enough. So he came in to turn 1 and 2. I J-turned him, got him sideways, planted him on my front bumper, and took him out past the wall, past the fence, brought him over to the pond, over to the river, flipped him the bird, threw it in reverse, drove away as he stuck in the mud sideways. And that was my...
Where was this?
At Star.
Oh, shit.
Pushed him right through, right out.
Right off the back stretch or
off the
two?
back straight stretch. I had him T-boned. Just kept my foot to the boards. I was running a Nissan Stanza at the time. Just foot right into it. Just kept pushing because he about flipped me because he kept J-turn, hit me in the left rear, and I got sideways, almost flipped, and I got pissed. So it was just one of those things.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, was it the smartest thing? Yeah, probably not.
Fuck it at the point. I
It
mean,
felt good at
when
the
you're in the
moment.
heat of the moment, man, you get sick of it.
Yeah. You get hammered in the ass so many damn times, and it's like, all right, if you're that much faster than me, either go to the outside or plan your attack a little bit better.
Yeah, well, yeah, try to go around.
Yep.
Don't go through, go around. I mean, yeah, no, that's in the heat of... I don't hold anything against anyone that's done dumb shit in the moment. I think it's great content. I mean, keep doing it. I mean, all for it. I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, obviously, you're not going to get any fans out of it, but at the same time, you get people to come back and be like, well, these people don't give a shit. And in the heat of the moment, I don't hold anything against anyone as long as it... I guess we'll toe that a little bit. I get at the heat of the moment of it not being a great thing to fucking do, but I get why you did it in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're not supposed to try to, like, you probably fucking sent them off, what, fucking passenger side through the mud?
No. Well, he was
Driver-
the passenger side was
where'd you
going
hit
out to
him?
the mud. I had him by the driver's door so he
Okay.
could see me as I was flipping the bird to him the whole way out through the woods.
Yeah, but you're pushing them.
Yeah, I'm pushing him.
Okay, so so like I said, towing the line here.
But with that being said, the guy did one of the coolest things I have ever seen is he had the first gen CRXs, hold it there with a tow dolly on a second gen CRX.
That's cool.
So I'll give the guy credit
That's
on
cool.
that.
That's
he
cool.
was pulling the CRX with a CRX to the races. But
That's awesome. But like I said, at the heat of the moment, I get why people do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're not trying to give people bodily harm.
no.
And that's why I'm towing the line, because we had that.
No. I
Like,
give
if
it-
you see at the fucking snowball derby,
I knew you were
where
going there.
where that guy got fucking right reared and got fucking flipped.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no need for it.
And that's one of the things that I have always driven. And you can ask Cody, Dan, Brian, and all that. I've always told them, if you left rear somebody into the wall or right rear somebody into the wall so they go into the wall, I'm done with you. I can't help you because that is something I am 100% against. Don't like that stuff. I mean, shit happens by accident, but if you purposely J-turn somebody head on into the wall, I can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a difference between like fucking actually doing it and then accidentally doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's a lot of factors that happen in racing, and I get it. And at the same time, there's pictures of that shit where this guy's turning left at the start line before he even touched the guy. I'm like, oh yeah, no, he knew what he was fucking doing.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. But at the same token, like, stupid as it is, like with these cars, if you look at the back of the car that Matthew's going to run next year, it's built on the left rear to take a punch. There's nothing on the right rear. I want the body to collapse. So you have to really put some effort into it to J-turn him into the wall.
So at least you know, fucking,
you're moving. Yeah, you're going to have to move 2 feet of plastic before it's got enough material to spin it the rest of the way.
I get it, but like I said, at the same time, I understand why people do it in the heat of the moment. But at the same time, you can't really go out there and be trying to fucking put someone in the hospital because they fucking did you wrong.
No, I agree with that 100%.
And we saw it this weekend with obviously not many people can watch it, but on Flow Racing, they have the fucking Tulsa shootout going. Some guy fucking straight up full board someone right into those micro sprint cars. And there's nothing. There's literally, it's an opening.
Yeah.
Literally a fucking opening, and he full bores someone. Obviously, they get Nerf bars, but it's not that much to get these cars up and up into that cockpit.
I mean,
so I get it. So I understand what, like, going back to you, I understand why you did it. You got sick of it. Oh, they're fighting back again. But I understand why they did it in the heat of the moment, as long as it's not fucking trying to get someone hurt over it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. But, like, you know, I just don't. That's one thing I never agreed with anybody. It's basically purposely trying to cause somebody bodily harm.
Yeah, no. I'm the same.
We all strap into cars. We all do our own dumb shit. We decide that we're gonna go out there and turn left with 15 to 25 more retards just like you. But at the same
you're
token,
about to go to fucking sensitivity training for that.
I ain't NASCAR. I called myself a retard, so there it is. But with that being said, it's just like, we're all dumb. We all get behind the wheel. We all have emotion. We all do stupid shit.
Yeah, we all do it. I mean, at the heat of the moment, like I said, it is what it is.
But there's also that little trigger of, all right, that's wrong.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Payback is one thing, but that's wrong. That's, like you said, like the whole 5 flags rack. That's wrong. You know, I've seen it around here. It's wrong. I'm sorry. I just don't. Turning someone head on to the wall is the worst thing that anybody can do to me. Or to my kid, or to you, or anybody, you know?
Oh boy, was I fucking hyped up when I got put into the fucking front stretch wall at fucking Hudson, boy. Yeah, you can ask Steve Dickey about that. I didn't know Steve Dickey was so strong.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things. But, I mean, I appreciate you both coming on. Matt, we'll get some fucking years under you. You can be a little bit even more taller than me when I come back. Fucking hey, man, you grown. I don't know how old they get until they come back around kids.
Trust me, I know.
And then they're fucking almost as the same height as me, and they have a lower tone than me, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? But
how do you think I feel? I'm at that point where I'm shrinking.
I heard that comes with old age.
Yes, it does.
Okay. But I appreciate you both coming on. And thank you guys for letting me in your shop. Appreciate your ingenuity to make my fucking mixer work again, man. I appreciate that a lot because
Residential Solutions.
fuck, we were fucked if we didn't figure that out. But I appreciate you guys a lot. I thank you guys both for coming on short notice. Happy New Year to everybody. This is all presented by the sponsors that came on this year. Kenny's Auto and Truck Repair, 24/7 light and heavy repair, custom hydraulic hoses made on site. You can give Jay Kenny, another enduro guy just like him, a call. He has his own place and everything like that. Give him a call at 978-483-1713. Another guy that's one of his good friends that came on as well is AA Auto Care, Nick Saba. Definitely a great guy. Another mechanic that you guys can get a hold of if you guys need anything done. Make sure you guys give him a call at 781-933-8070. Another enduro guy, great guy around. You see him all around Hudson Star. Anywhere there's an enduro, you'll see Justin Ratcliffe. Make sure you guys, if you guys need anything done to your roof or anything like that, like I call it a facelift, give Justin's Roofing a call at 603-438-4805. Another guy that came on from Seekonk, Mass, Jerry Discobury. I'm probably fucking up his name every fucking time. I'll call him. We'll figure it out. From Jerry's General Maintenance, 401-265-0968. If you guys got any landscaping stuff that needs done, get a hold of him. He's definitely a big contributor to all the racing community. Helps out everybody. He helped out us. He's helping out James for the Freedom Factory ministock race. If you guys want to sponsor James for that, it's in February. Reach out to me or James Seagross DeCourcy. We're going to be running in Jeremy DeCourcy's honor, who recently passed away. So if you guys want to sponsor, anything helps. I mean, we don't say no to anyone. Like I said, get a hold of me or him. Jerry came on, helped us. I'm helping him out. I'm giving him some fucking tire money or fuel money, and we'll figure it out from there. Definitely a good cause, so make sure you guys get a hold of him if you guys want to sponsor. Another good guy, Bobby Melvin's been around for years from ProFab High Performance Division, because I can't say he makes cheater parts because I was just kidding. Yeah, you can take those off now. Yeah, you can go. Yeah, he can go do whatever. But as I said, yeah, he's got to pee. He's going to go sit down. Anyways, Bobby Melvin from ProFab High Performance Division, Metal Fabrication. Fuck that up. Fabrication. Call 978-490-8340. He's doing the flag stand at Star, as he's announced. He's really good with everything that he does, from race cars to whatever you need in the yard. Just give him a call. Another guy, excuse me, Andrew's Handyman Service. Definitely any scrap or metal or anything like that. Came on board with us. Great guy. He's been around all the Northeast tracks, from Star, Hudson, Monadnock, Claremont, for all the belt races and everything like that. He helps out everybody that he can. He even put up the sponsor money that he had for his dwarf car up for the 4-cylinder guys to win. Definitely a great guy. If you guys got any scrap or anything needed to get out of the yard, make sure you guys give him a call at 603-327-7155. Takes anything from junk cars to scrap metal, anything that's of value. Another guy that came on recently, we had him on. Definitely had a bunch of fun on the on the podcast recently. Robinson's Motorsports. He finally gave me the okay to use his phone number, so now I got to go find his phone number. Definitely a great guy. If you guys need any setup help, anything like that, he's done Mike Harlow's car, a bunch of other cars. To help those guys out. Great guy, honest work, doesn't charge a lot. If you need a cage built or anything like that, give him a call at 603-554-2429. Definitely a great guy. I've known him all my life. I wouldn't send you to anybody else. Definitely great, awesome dude. Next, Jesus Christ. The other guy is Everett, another guy that I've known all my life. E&K Automotive, another automotive guy that you need from your daily to a freaking German tank that can go mow down trees if you need it. Give him a call at 603-801-5066. He does it all. Another guy is Farnham Motorsports. Him and Louis, I believe, is going down to the Freedom Factory. They're going down to do that stuff. If you guys want to sponsor them, they got 2 cars going down there to race and battle with everybody at the Freedom Factory that Nemus is putting on. So make sure you guys reach out to them if you guys want to sponsor. Great exposure to everybody. Gonna be live and all that great stuff. So make sure you guys get a hold of them. I appreciate them coming on as a sponsor for the Roughing Fenders podcast. Another recent one is New England Racing News, their Facebook page, their regular web browser. If you guys need anything to know about any of the Maine or the Northeast racers, make sure you guys get a hold of those guys. Go see them, go like and follow their page, and go check out all the news that they bring to the Northeast. I know maybe they'll be at the Augusta show, but they helped me out with recorder so I can go to the Augusta show next weekend. Go see all the guys that are putting on a display for everybody to bring awareness to Northeast Racing. Make sure you guys go check them out on Facebook at New England Racing News and their browser at newenglandracingnews.com. Another person that came on recently is J&D Power Equipment Incorporated generator sales and service. From commercial to RV to if you need it outside your trailer to run an air compressor. Make sure to get a hold of them at 603-463-8030. But as I said, appreciate everybody watching. This has definitely been a great time. Appreciate Paul, who's cheating up his race car already with Matt, and definitely appreciate everybody watching, the ingenuity on the mixer so I could bring this stuff to you. I don't know what happened. We'll figure it out from there, but thank you guys for coming on, and stay tuned for tomorrow with Green Slit. I believe Milton Duran, Tony Quadros are coming on, maybe Jimmy Renfrew Jr. So stay tuned. But as I said, Happy New Year. Thank you, PJ, Matt, for coming on, guys. As I said, this is Randy from the Rough and Fenders podcast. Thank you guys for watching.